You killed a lot of good men trying to get your revenge. Trust me, we don't share the same sense of humor.
It's coming. I've seen it in the probabilities, seen it plain as day. All you heroes protecting this world. Do you think you're the only ones? Do you think this is the only world? We'll see what happens when you have to protect this place from the others.
I think Marvel might have been quietly setting up Avengers Doomsday for years, and if you connect the dots between Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four's post-credit scenes, you start to see a picture of what could be the MCU's biggest event yet. Fans believe it all begins with Dr. Doom, who kidnaps Franklin Richards in the Fantastic Four movie, the son of Reed and Sue Storm, who is incredibly powerful. He would use him to unlock multiversal power. Instead of hiding in Earth 616, Doom could take Franklin into an alternate X-Men universe, and I speculate this is where we might first see mutants fully integrated into the MCU timeline. Imagine Doom launching a Sentinel assault in that reality, forcing the X-Men into chaos. Now here's the twist: Monica Rambeau, who already has ties to multiverse energy after the Marvels, might accidentally cross into this timeline and catch a glimpse of Doom unmasked. And as we all know, Robert Downey Jr. has been revealed as Victor Doom. It would be shocking, catching Monica by surprise. That alone would be enough to set off a chain reaction of mistrust. Monica might warn the X-Men that the face she saw belonged to the Avengers' greatest hero, and from their perspective, it could look like the Avengers are trying to destroy another universe. Professor X might stay calm, believing there's more to the story, but Magneto would almost certainly take a harder stance, gathering allies like Wolverine, Cyclops, or Storm, and preparing to strike first before the Avengers strike them. Meanwhile, Doom could already be moving to Earth 616, which lines up with what fans saw in the Thunderbolts post-credit scene. He warns them of an incoming incursion, claiming another universe is about to destroy theirs. The Thunderbolts may not believe him at first, but if they see his face, and it looks like Tony Stark, suddenly the story changes. Imagine the weight of that moment, Tony Stark returning, but as a warning of destruction. It would be the ultimate seed of doubt planted into the MCU, one that ties Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, and eventually Avengers, Doomsday together. But Bucky, who is shocked but not convinced, calls Sam, who is now Captain America, telling him about what he saw. And then Sam remembers the prophecy from Captain America, Brave New World, which sets up nicely for what's about to really happen. If this theory holds, then the stage is set for paranoia and mistrust to spiral out of control. On the X-Men side, Magneto's decision to act could split the mutant leadership, with Professor X urging patience and Magneto insisting that survival means striking first. I speculate that this could be the foundation for a full-scale X-Men incursion into Earth 616. Meanwhile, Doom may have already manipulated the Thunderbolts into believing him. His words could cut into each of them, tempting Red Guardian with lost glory, Yelena with the chance to live up to Natasha's sacrifice, and Bucky with redemption for his past. If he then disappears after sowing those seeds, he leaves behind nothing but suspicion. Now, this is where Sam Wilson might enter the picture. When Bucky reaches out to him, Sam could recall the eerie line from the Brave New World post-credit scene.
I've seen it in the probabilities, seen it plain as day.
If Doom appears to be Tony Stark, then Sam might start wondering if that warning was connected all along. And this is where the brilliance of Doom's plan comes in. He doesn't need to fight directly. He just has to make the Avengers, the Thunderbolts, and the X-Men believe they're each other's enemies. If this theory is true, Marvel may not even need Robert Downey Jr. back full-time. Just glimpses, illusions, or multiversal tricks showing Stark's face under the mask would be enough to destabilize everyone. By the time the X-Men arrive in Earth 616, ready for confrontation, the Avengers would already be on edge. Doom, who by this time would have left Earth 616, heading to another timeline, wouldn't even have to lift a finger. His manipulation could guarantee the first punch is thrown between heroes who should be allies. This is where fans think we might finally see something once thought impossible, a live-action Avengers vs X-Men battle. And it's not even in a what-if episode, or an alternate reality, but as the central conflict of Doomsday. It wouldn't have to be a villain's army against heroes. It could simply be heroes against heroes. Both sides convinced the other is the threat. Cyclops leading the charge, Storm unleashing her fury, Wolverine tearing into combat against Bucky, or even Captain America himself. Scarlet Witch, if she's alive, clashing with Jean Grey. The fight could be Marvel's most ambitious crossover battle yet. But here's where the theory gets darker. Some leaks and rumors suggest Thor would be seen crying, broken in a way we've never witnessed before. One theory suggests that in the chaos, Thor might accidentally strike down an ally. Some fans think that ally could be Deadpool, who who has just entered the MCU and would likely joke his way through the fight until a moment goes horribly wrong. Imagine Thor unleashing supercharged lightning on Deadpool, and because of Doom's manipulations, Deadpool's healing factor may not save him this time. If this theory is true, it would explain the heartbreaking image of Thor collapsing in grief, his mistake tearing him apart. This moment could serve as the emotional core of Doomsday's first act, the accidental death of a fan favorite, sparking both rage from the X-Men and sorrow within the Avengers. And if Professor X and Beast were to step in at this exact point, stopping the war with a revelation that Doom has been behind everything, it would instantly shift the narrative. The realization that it was never Tony Stark, but Victor Von Doom manipulating them all would set the stage for something far larger than a single battle. Now, if all my theories are right, then everything we've seen so far would just be the setup, because the real twist may arrive with the Fantastic for themselves. At the height of the chaos, when the Avengers and X-Men realize they've been fighting a battle seeded by deception, Reed Richards and his team could make their entrance. And they wouldn't come in as saviors, they'd come in desperate, searching for Franklin, the son they believe Doom has stolen and hidden somewhere across realities. And I speculate this is when the truth finally clicks. Doom never was Tony Stark, never was an Avenger gone rogue. He simply used his genius to weaponize appearances, to twist the most powerful symbol of heroism in the MCU into a mask of fear. Once the Fantastic Four reveal their son was taken, both the Avengers and X-Men could finally see through the illusion. But by then, the damage is done. Deadpool, if the theory about his accidental death is true, is gone. Trust between the two teams is shattered, and Thor, broken by guilt, may carry the heaviest burden of all, his tears reflecting the moment he became the unintentional executioner in a war that never should have been fought. Some fans think this might be exactly why Marvel seeded those mysterious leaks of Thor crying, because it's not about his own death, or even the death of Loki, but about his mistake, an act that proves even gods are fallible when chaos rules. From here, the theory suggests the film could pivot into its second act, Doom revealed as the manipulator, still holding Franklin Richards, and perhaps even using Franklin to fuel the multiversal incursion itself. The Avengers and X-Men, once enemies, might be forced to unite against a common adversary, but with emotions raw and trust fractured, that alliance would be fragile at best. And then there's the bigger question, what role does Loki play? Rumors have hinted at Loki reuniting with Thor during Doomsday, and if that's true, his return might be the final push Thor needs to find redemption, a brother pulling him back from despair. But even if Loki returns, the war is far from over. The theory is that Doom isn't trying to destroy one universe, he's trying to merge realities, to force an incursion that reshapes the multiverse into his empire. That would line up with secret wars on the horizon, and it would explain why Avengers Doomsday has been described as even bigger than Endgame. Because this isn't just about stopping one villain, it's about preventing the collapse of reality itself. And the tragic irony is that the first battles of that war weren't against Doom at all, they were between the very heroes who were supposed to save us. That's why fans believe Doomsday could be Marvel's boldest and darkest chapter yet, a film that shows how easily trust can be shattered, how even the strongest heroes can break, and how one man, Victor Von Doom, might hold the fate of the multiverse in his hands. Now, tell me what you think in the comments. Do you see all these happening? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Also like and subscribe for more videos like this.